What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to another banger with your boy Superb Kicks.
Diverse styles.
Together we're FeetzNtheStreetz, where we wear our pairs.
I'd like to thank y'all once again for tuning in to another episode. This week we're going to be doing a comparison video versus the last episode where we just picked something that was iconic to our collection and where ranked in our collection as a whole. This week we're going to be, like I say, doing a comparison video on two pairs that are obviously similar in color, but that's about where the similarities end. There's lots of differences in these two pairs, and I'm going to let you know where they rank in our collection and why.
Make sure y'all like this video, stay active in the comments, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, and most importantly, hit that bell so that y'all are notified every time we drop one of these bangers. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the Stealth 3's first and give y'all the review on these right here. And y'all make sure y'all stay active in the comments, tell us what y'all like or dislike about the 3's right here, and let's get it.
Now, Stealth 3. Obviously, Jordan 3 silhouette is probably the second most collected shoe in my collection. I have plenty of different pair, but this one particular ranks high in my collection. When I first saw this shoe in the store, right then I knew it was a must-have. Just the way the whole shoe flows as a whole just did it for me. This is a love it or hate it pair. It's very underrated as far as Jordan 3 as a whole in the whole community. But for me, this one is one of the top pair. I love the way it flows from the black to a medium gray to a light gray, and then with the white laces. And for me, the white laces are a must because of the white bottom. It ties it in as a whole. I know a lot of people go with black laces or red laces. If you have this pair in your collection, then that's where you stand. That's what gives us diversity as a whole with owning this shoe is the laces. But for me, I love the way everything ties together. The contrast with the Jumpman versus over the Nike Air, the word Air. Obviously, as we'd all love to see Nike Air on the back of these, but at the time, that's not where the direction Nike was going with it. As Jumpman, as a whole. So you get the Jumpman, iconic Jumpman logo, which is fine. Like I say, the material on this, this shoe gets worn by me, obviously you see from the bottom, but it doesn't get worn a lot because, I don't want anything to happen to it. Rejuvenator, that's something you definitely need, the repellent on here so you don't have to worry about it, pop-up shower or something being spilled and splashing, whatever the case may be. But this shoe doesn't get worn a lot for that simple reason that I want to take care of it and have it in my collection, long term. The materials on it are very nice, and one thing about this one is it's not a lot of cracking, and which 3's are famous for. I don't know what it is about the material or the paint or whatever they used on this, but I'm very thankful for y'all for putting it on here because this shoe is very durable and has lasted and has lots of life left in it and will be worn numerous times before it ever gets retired. I don't have a second pair of these, unfortunately, which would be something I would definitely like to have. But, this shoe just does it for me. The red just pops in the right places. The elephant print so subtle. Normally it's either all black or it has the black and gray contrast. That to me, just the subtle changes in this one that they made when it was released made it a must-have for me, and this is definitely a 9 out of 10 in my collection. Something I will keep long-term and be looking for a second pair at some point to possibly double up on, if possible.
All right. Me personally, this is a 8 for me. I just slipped and couldn't cop this. I'm not going to elaborate on the story and give y'all some a violin story and everything like that, but I missed on these right here. Wish I could have copped these, but there's a few things that are different from the average 3 that are on here. Meaning, especially since these came out 2011, that was premier time Jordan was making great quality shoes. All these materials on here are immaculate. Even the reptile print that you normally see on the 12s, right here on the side, and the elephant print is a totally different color, unlike any other color. And I'll say three things that make it where it's pretty much why I didn't pretty much copy it. You know what I mean? That it's three things that I would like to see the change on the Jordan. Like I say, these have some things that I've never seen on any other Jordan 3's before, where there's a solid sole right here. Basically, it's normally two-tone. You know, you see how it's black and white here, and on this shoe, it's one solid color here. You know, and what my boy mentioned on the 3's, very easily cracked out of all colors. Why did they use black? But they have some good material, paint, whatever they're using, and my boy is where we wear our pairs, so you could see that this is some good quality paint and very minimum cracking. But I would have preferred it being a red and a white, and I would have preferred a red shoestring, and then also like the patent leather on the 11s, how they used to have the lower cut, now they have the higher cut from the OGs. This elephant print is a lot thinner than the shoes that are coming out after 14 and after. Basically, Jordan was making shoes totally different. And I also like the stitching in the black sole line right here in the midsole. I like that right there. That really sets off the white in the shoelaces right there. Overall, like I said, I give this an 8. It would have been a cop for me, just couldn't get my hands on it. I like all the red hints. I especially love the tongue reminiscent of the Jordan 5 black tongue for me. I really like that. All the subtle hints of red would have really looked dope with the red shoestring and some red and some white, or red and a different color gray, or to tie in this color gray at the bottom with a red. There's a few things that they could have did, but overall, like I said, this would have been a must cop for me if I could have got my hands on it. And now seeing it in hand, I'm kind of like kicking myself right now. I don't know if y'all can see it, the disappointment in my face. But I'm really disappointed I didn't get these, because these would have been dope in my shoe collection. So overall, I give these an 8 right here. I just wish they would have did a few things different, but that's on every Jordan. You know, every Jordan you get, you always look at it and be like, I wish they could have did this, I wish they could have did that, but at the end of the day, you still got that shoe. You know, so.
And you make a great point, and it's things that you don't really notice till later in life, or after having certain shoes in your collection, that you notice that, like you say, reminiscent of the Black Tongue 5, and who'd have thought that back then when these shoes were releasing that Tinker was thinking of these things in the head, or even if it was an afterthought for him too. But the little subtleties that you see carry over from one silhouette to another, and the fact that it's not 3 then on a 4, but 3 all the way to a 5, and so that's a great point you make.
And like I say, make sure in the comment section y'all tell us what y'all think of this shoe right here. But overall, I think this is an awesome shoe, especially being from 2011, the way that my boy took care of this shoe. I mean, honestly, if he told you he just copped these about 2 months ago and wore them 3 or 4 times, you would believe him. Like, I got it on one of these websites that sell shoes. Bro, I seen this, I had to get it. I always wanted it, I had to get it. And if he say he just got these and wore them a couple times, I'll believe him. These are in excellent condition. And the quality of this shoe is, the material, I mean, is immaculate. Like, I really love everything on this shoe. Like I said, there's subtle things that I would change, but nothing in the material wise at all.
And that's I think that's a great point. That as why it's held up is the material. Such quality materials, and not saying that Jordan's slacking by no means on some of these newer ones, but the quality control at the time when these were produced was a little different then. They weren't as mass produced in huge numbers, and so they could get away with having better materials at a cheaper price. But inflation of time and economy as a whole, that's what happens. I mean, so
Imperfections and stuff like that. I mean, of course, if it's subtle, you don't see it. Glue stain. You can probably scrub that out, cut it out. Some thread here and there, you can cut it out and everything like that. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal to us. It may be to you guys, but we gonna put our feet in the streets. Like every pair that we got in our collection didn't touch the streets. You know what I mean? So, or it's a double up and we got a DS or something like that. Got an extra pair or something like that, but we wear our pairs. You know,
like I say, minor imperfections such as a glue stain or one little stitch being out of line, just barely, doesn't matter because it's not about resale, it's about wearing them. And as a reseller, I respect you guys for what you do, but for me, that's not where I'm at in my life. I buy them to wear. So little things like that, they're gonna get imperfections in them after being worn. So it's not a big deal
at all. So like I say, for me, that's an 8. That would have been a must cop. Like my boy mentioned, anything 8 and above is a must cop. I slipped on this one. You know what I mean? I get the thumbs down on that one today. So we're gonna go ahead and go into the so overall, before we go into the next shoe, what is your what do you rate on this shoe?
Definitely a 9. Like I say, first seeing it in the store, it was automatic. I knew I had to have it. I don't remember where I was at in life and what I was doing the day I bought them, but I do remember that, back then that we originally see them at Foot Locker at South Lake Mall. I had to have them. So
South Lake Mall, that's where we get majority of all our shoes. Foot Locker, shameless plug,
That's right. But I mean, that's back also too, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that's when they released on Friday mornings. So it's a possibility that I skip school. Kids go to school, stay in school.
Man.
But I possibly skipped school to go get them. Or it may have been a Monday. I'm not even positive. But I remember first sight, knew I had to have them. They've been in my collection ever since. And like I say, if I get able to double up on a pair, I will. But other than that, they're going to stay, nice and crispy and get worn on occasion just so they stay nice and crispy, longevity of time.
And when we do that shoe collection, when we reveal both of our shoe collections at 2,500 subscribers, you may see those in my shoe collection by then. So we're going to go ahead and make sure, though, you put in the comment section what you guys like, dislike, what you rate on these shoes. If it's a 7, if it's 8, if it's a 9, if it's a 10 for you, go ahead and let us know in the comment section. We greatly appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and go to this next shoe. The Wolf Gray 3's.
Wolf Gray 3.
Me personally, I love this shoe. I'm a neutral color guy. I like blacks, I like grays, I like whites. I like reds. Stuff like that. I mean, like simple colors. I'm not too much into the oranges, the yellows, and all that stuff like that. So this shoe right here is an excellent shoe. The way it coordinates black, white, gray all throughout the shoe. You don't see no other color. Everything really, really complements everything, each other, should I say, on the shoe. And I like the shiny part on the shoe, on the elephant print, but this is something that you cannot wear this shoe a lot. Like this is maybe a 2 times a year shoe for me because of the flashiness of it, very noticeable shoe. It's something that I really, really like though on the shoe, but it could have been toned down just a little bit, but it's a really nice shoe. The leather on this shoe is immaculate. I love the color of it. It's not a cool gray color. It's a wolf gray color. I love the shoe. It was a must cop for me. Give this shoe a 9. I love the white in the shoe. Wish it could have just been like another gray down here or some more or a different color on here to tone it down, because there's no other white in the shoe but that. It could have just been a darker gray down at the bottom or something like that. Would have been really nice. But other than that, I like the shoe. I really prefer having the Nike Air on the back, but nowadays you can't complain. Majority of the Jordan 3's has the Jumpman on there, so not that complaining, but no complaining on my end. I love my 3's. I love this color, love the materials. Once again, it was a 9 for me, a must cop. I had to have these right here, and I took pretty good care of these, thanks to Reshoevinator. I've been taking care of these shoes. Every time I wear my shoe, you gotta wipe it back down before you put it back up in the box. That's how you get the #1 quality of your shoe, or should I say outstanding quality of your shoe, where it looks brand new every time you bring it out the box. But once again, this is a 9 for me, a must cop. Had to have it. The materials, everything is excellent on this thing. I love the colors. So yeah, it was a must cop for me. Let me know how you like this shoe.
All right, for me on this shoe, first of all, it is a well put together shoe. Obviously, like we mentioned before, that there's always going to be something about a shoe that you would change personally, or you wish they would have done, or whatever like that. This wasn't a must-have for me, simply for one simple fact, and that doesn't change the greatness of the shoe, and the likeliness that I would maybe one day actually get a pair. But I don't own this shoe personally, and it's only because I'm not a fan of the shiny elephant print. I would have rather seen it in 3M.
Correct.
I just love the way that when the light hits 3M at a certain angle at a certain time, it just gives that little shimmer. And these have a constant shimmer. Other than that, man, I love the materials. Maybe would have liked to see suede in the upper, but with the material used on it and being a nice quality leather, I wouldn't, like having it in the hand now, I wouldn't change it. Only one other thing besides that, I would have liked to see the black flow all the way through to the toe guard, or maybe even have black fade from black into white, like kind of like a reminiscent of the Fear 3, how it fades on the upper of the outsole. But that's minor changes. Like I said, that's my personal take on it. This shoe for me gets a 7.5 out of 10. I love, like I say, that it's so subtle of colors that they just flow together so natural.
Simple but great Jordan to me.
Right, it's nothing flashy about it that takes away except for the shininess of it. And I mean, like I say, same with mine. It's either love it or hate it. I don't say that I hate it, but I just disliked it enough that it wasn't a must cop for me. But having it in the hand now, looking at it, same with my boy here, that seeing the materials kind of makes me wish that maybe I would have had it in my collection, and maybe at some point it might make its way into my collection. But for right now, it only gets 7.5 for me. Anything 8 or above, obviously, is something we're going to have in our collection. But another thing I really, really like about it is that the transparent sole. It's not the blue that you see on a lot of the new 5s and 6s and all, with that blue tint to it. It's kind of got a gray, see-through effect to it, and it doesn't have the blue like you saw on the 5 or the 3 Lab 5 or 5 Lab, whatever, 3 Lab 5.
And it's not taking over the shoe.
Right. It doesn't. It's not like taking away, like, boom, look at me. And it always, from a distance, you would think it was just another shade of gray that ties in with the shoe, but having it in the hand or either having it and own it and knowing that you see that it is a transparent sole, and obviously, just like with mine, they get worn, but they get taken care of. Something that you have
in the streets.
That's right. They will touch pavement, or if they haven't already. And overall, like I say, I give this a good solid 7, possibly a 7.5 on a good day. And the materials are nice, flows together, and it's a very
one thing
shoe.
I forgot to mention that I would really, really want to change on this shoe, and all shoes that have this, is the white sock liner.
Yes.
Like, I am not a fan of the big white sock liner. I take baths, I wash my feet, everything's clean. But it's just something about white sock liners that just gravitate to dirt. I just don't understand it. It's just something about it. And it's something that when you do clean your shoes, make sure you do clean this part. It makes no sense to have a clean shoe with a dirty sock liner. So that's why, like with this shoe, how the black sock liner look, this is a shoe from 2011, which this is 2014, doesn't look bad. But imagine this having a black shoe liner, the inside shoe liner. It would really, really make this shoe pop, and it would make this shoe last for a very, very long time. Like, this shoe could be a shoe that would last over 2 decades right here if it had the black shoe liner, sock liner, should I say, excuse me. Yeah. I honestly think that will be the only thing that I would really, really change on this shoe, besides having the Nike Air on the back.
Yeah, you definitely got to be cautious wearing certain denim with it because you get the little denim dye, you know, in certain parts of the tongue here. And now, you know, obviously people who wear their shoes know that that's a tough thing to get rid of. But yeah, I do agree with you on the white sock liner. That was something I overlooked, you know, on the first pass through. Yeah, we look good in black, and you're right. I mean, no matter how clean you are and take care of and all that, over time that white sock liner just gets a little dingy effect to it, and there's nothing you can do about it. But at the same time, that shows, hey, I wear my shoes, and you know, a couple years down the road, you're gonna see this, and you with a little bit of off-white effect to it, and you know, to be able to say, man, you really took care of those. You know, I mean, all this is still intact, no scratches, no scuffs, no cracking, which eventually is going to happen because that's what 3's do.
100%.
You know, but
unavoidable.
It's unavoidable. You know, you obviously now with you know, companies like Anglers and all that, you can, you know, strip it down and pre-paint it. But for me, that's not something I'm big on because I like the fact that it shows you I wear my shoes, creases, cracks, scuffs. Hey, comes with the territory. I mean, your car doesn't stay dent free for 10 years. You know, you get little dents and dings. Same with your shoes. So I mean, it happens. You know, once you leave the security of your home, you never know what may happen. So
bottom line, just make sure you put some Rejuvenate on there. Make sure you protect it with the rain and water repellent. I mean, the stain and water repellent. You know, and make sure you protect it. If you clean your shoes, use the proper ingredients to take care of it. Your shoes should last a long time. These are almost a 20-year-old shoe right here. You know what I mean? Or should I say a 10-year-old shoe right here? And this is a 5-year-old shoe right here. You know what I mean? So they're very well taken care of. So that just lets you know to what to look forward to with us showing the shoe collection.
So overall for you,
this is a 9 for me. This something about these colors. Gray is my favorite color. One of my favorite colors, should I say? And it's just something about the gray and the black and the white on here. I can wear this endless outfits, you know.
As we said, this is a comparison video. Only thing that's similar about them is the gray, primary color being gray. Other than that, the differences are obviously very obvious. You can see them, you know, just by looking at them. But yeah, besides being the 3 silhouette and primary color being gray, huge differences in the shoe. Both must-haves in our collection, you know, as far as mine and for me and yours for you. And I mean, yeah, like I say, after having that, never having it in my hand before, I can definitely, you know, agree on the materials being nice, flow together. Like I say, the only thing for me, is the shininess.
Correct.
I'd rather seen 3M, but it looks good. I mean, it flows together with the shoe. It's not, it doesn't look out of place with some weird color like a yellow or an orange or something that effect that it throws it off. It's like, why would you do that? So it's a very nice shoe.
And
definitely.
So overall, what you giving the shoe?
After doing having it in hand, I'm gonna go with 7.5.
And this one is for you?
Oh, for me a 9.
Okay, so we got a 9 and a 7.5. And so vice versa, I got a 9 and I got a 8 on this right here. This should have been a cop for me, didn't get it. So I got an 8 and I got a 9 on this one. In the in the comment section, comment on which one you prefer. Not saying that I'm gonna prefer this one over this one or this one over this one because they're totally different shoes. You know, I'm not gonna say, oh, I got these, so I don't need these, or I got these, so I don't need these. You know, so these are 2 different shoes that is a must cop for me. So once you guys see that shoe collection at 2,500K, 2,500 subscribers, you may see that in my collection once again. So in the comment section, let us know which one you like better. If you don't got neither one of them, which one would you prefer copping first? Or if you do got both of them.
Right. Let us know where they rank in your collection, what the diversity, you know, is for you, what you like and dislike about each pair. You know?
And let us know if you would keep the white, put black or red shoestrings in there. What you dislike about these, what you dislike about these, what you would like to add, what you wish they would have had, and vice versa with that one, you know. And just stay active in the comments. We greatly appreciate it. And we're gonna go ahead with what we rocking today.
Last but not least,
every day we come on here, we're gonna be rocking clothes, shoes. We're not gonna give y'all reviews and Jordan slippers. You know, we're gonna go ahead and let y'all see what we rocking in hand. So I'm gonna start off today with the true blue 3's. This is compared to this leather right here. This leather is like the cement 3's. You know what I mean? Compared to it right here, I really like the leather on these. It may be a little bit better material than, I'll say about the same. I'd say it's about the same. Just this one is maybe what year did these come out? 14 too, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, these both came out the same year, so they both been in the collection for a long time and really clean. I like everything about this shoe. I mean, the colors, the subtle hints of the blue. You know, see rocking with the blue shorts. You know, got the subtle hints of blue in the hat. It's overall a great shoe and a must in my collection. So let us know what you think about these also. So I just had to give y'all a look at these right here. This is a must cop for me on a scale of 1 to 10. This is a 9.5 for me.
My personal choice for today, obviously with being diverse styles, I like to have a diversity in my collection. And you know, I'm not limited to just Jordans, you know, as a whole. Although that is about at least a good third of my collection, or over half of my collection is Jordans, to be honest. But you know, nice pair of Air Force Ones. You can't go wrong. It's a very, very iconic shoe, especially the all white. But I love the fact of how they every once in a while throw in some wild materials. These happen to have denim on them, and when I saw that on there, you know, the colors flow together, and the denim was just to make it a must-have.
And that orange swoosh really,
yeah, it just makes it pop, you know. And with the denim, you know, you can go with a light denim, a dark denim, medium denim, all match. And you know, as far as the orange, gives it a little pop, you know, a little pizzazz to it, you know. And you know, like I say, this was a must-have for me. One thing I would have liked to see different is, you know, the outsole being a different color, maybe the same blue, or maybe even the navy that it be on the stripe here in the word air. But as a whole, this I'm gonna give this an 8. You know, obviously anything 8 and above is a must-have. And you know, I've taken care of the shoe. I'm not even sure what year it came out, to be honest. 2011.
Yes, sir. How ironic. Both of his shoes is
didn't even know that until
both
now.
mine 2014. Didn't even know that. That's crazy.
As a whole, you know, I mean, that is weird and strange, you know, they pulled these both out. But yeah, these don't get much wear. Yeah, obviously because of the white outsole, but you see, taken care of, plenty of wears, and they will continue to get plenty of wears. So that's what I chose for today.
Hey, once again, we greatly, I can't emphasize how much we greatly appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all can be anywhere else, tuning in, watching any other shoe tubers. But at this particular time and moment, y'all are taking the time out to watch us.
Right.
And we greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you stay active in the comments. Hit the notification bell so y'all stay active, and every time we drop one of these bangers, y'all get the notification. And most importantly, hit that subscribe button and tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. We're going to give y'all active content and great content on a weekly basis. So make sure y'all tune in.
Continue to tune in weekly to see what we come up with. You know, give us feedback on how you feel about the shoes we picked, what you'd like to see picked and, you know, reviewed. And like I say, always tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And when you grow with us.
Until next time, remember, without y'all,
it's no us.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Next week,